You are listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with me, Trip Kramer. What's going on, man? Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. Welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. Another episode, and this is cool. I got an interview today with Carmelia Ray, a woman, a lovely woman, a smart woman I've known for, close to a decade now. I think we met back in 2012, 2013 at the iDate conference. It's a conference for matchmakers and dating coaches and relationship coaches. And we met there. She put it on, and I was a speaker there for YouTube when I was starting to build my YouTube channel. I was helping other people in terms of building their YouTube channel. So I spoke at that event, and it was just a blast, an absolute blast. And so I thought, man, I have not had her on the podcast before. And I've had other matchmakers here before on the podcast. I don't do a lot of interviews with matchmakers because there's not too much to say in the general arena of matchmaking other than maybe just giving you information on what matchmaking is all about and how it can help you. But we went a different route here. Okay, so I talked to her, and what we ended up giving you in terms of advice is her secrets and her cool hidden little ways of being able to find more women. So this doesn't have to do with matchmaking at all, but it's her way of giving advice to guys, and applies to women too, but of course we're talking to you guys, right? And it's advice on how to really put yourself out there and make it so you're more seen. Okay, this is a really good episode. I really love what she had to say here in terms of getting yourself out there and making yourself seen. What are all the ways that you can meet women and make sure that you are meeting as many women as you can? And this is really awesome because she gives you the practical tips on how to do it. So I really think that you're going to like this. You're going to take some really cool things away from it, stuff that you can start implementing right away to making sure you're meeting and finding and attracting more women. I know I'm being a little vague right now, but you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you hear the interview and dive into it. Now, just so you know, I do have some spots available right now for coaching. Here's the deal. I am always about 3 to 4 weeks out. Okay, so that means that my roster is completely full for the next 3 or 4 weeks. But then by the end of the 3 or 4 weeks, I have some clients who then end their session. So there's room for more clients. I only take about maximum 15 clients at a time, but usually it's around 10, 11, 12 at a time. And so I can really focus and concentrate on every single one of the guys who signs up and gets help in coaching. We do weekly calls. We also have texting where you can text me and I can help you text girls. I can write text messages for you. You're going to get access to all my programs in my members area. Really, it's pretty amazing in terms of getting you to the level you want to be at. So whatever your goals are in dating and in relationships and in sex, whatever you want, whatever your ideal dating life is, I'm the guy to help you, and I help you through our custom coaching plan. If you are interested, go to coachedbytrip.com. That's where you can fill out an application form. And it's been a crazy summer. A lot of guys have been signing up. I know that even though there's some places right now where it's tough to meet women because of COVID and everything like that, there's still a lot of opportunity that you're not seeing. And so there is no reason to not take action right now. So go apply so we can get you help. Again, like I said, there's always spots available, but it just depends on, when we can get you in. So coachedbytrip.com, apply today. We'll get on a phone call and we will discuss. I do not accept any applications that are guys who are younger than 18, but 18 or older, you're already pre-approved. And then you got to go through the application to get that pre-approved. And then I get on the phone with you. So check it out, coachedbytrip.com. Without further ado, my interview with Carmelia Ray, matchmaker, and we're talking about the secret to finding more women. But real quick, just so you know, the audio is a little funky. I told you on the last episode that the recording of me recorded from my computer and not the mic that you hear now. So just a little funky. So bear with me. This is not how the rest of the episodes are going to go. It just didn't record it right. But you can still hear me. It's just not as clear as usual. Just wanted to give you that warning. All right, here is the interview. Hey, Carmelia, how you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm even more awesome that you have me here on your podcast.
I know. And I was just saying a second ago, I'm sorry it took so long. I've been doing the podcast for since 2014, but you and I met when did we meet? 2013 at the
I
iDate
don't.
conference.
Yeah, I've been going to iDate since 2008. So I wouldn't be surprised if we may have even met before 2014, like 2013. Yeah, maybe even earlier.
Yeah. Somewhere
Yeah.
around there. And I remember going and I give a little presentation on
Yes,
YouTube.
I asked you to speak.
Yes, and it was a great time. We had a great time. It was in Vegas.
Yes.
And things were normal.
Yeah,
It was nice.
exactly.
Well, it's great to have you here. So, why don't you tell the guys who you are and what you do? I know you are a matchmaker, but you combine that with giving dating advice, but mainly it's matchmaking. And
hmm
so, just tell us, what you do and how you help men and women.
Well, I have been a matchmaker since 1992. So I have been around maybe longer than some of your listeners in the dating space. So it's almost 28 years now. And I match singles together. I mainly work with, professional single men and women that are looking for a long-term relationship, marriage, monogamy, that sort of thing. And of course, I coach as well, men and women on all dating issues, flirting, attraction, how to be your own matchmaker. And I've had a television show, Mom versus Matchmaker, did 4 seasons of that. And in the process of pitching and producing other reality shows coming up, hopefully in the dating space, but that's how I've been spending my time.
And don't forget about your friend Trip, who would absolutely love to come on one of your shows one day.
100%. The next show, I can't talk about it, but it may be on a tropical island. So I think Trip might need to take a trip to that show.
Ooh, I like it. This is
Yeah.
like, what's that? Too hot to date style.
Oh yeah. That
Or too hot to handle.
I binge watched Love is Blind and Too Hot to Handle embarrassingly on a Friday night. And my husband was like, "Do you have nothing better to do?" And I'm like, "This is dating. I need to binge watch this." But I loved it. I thought it was great.
Nice. Well, listen, I like what you said there for a second. You said become your own matchmaker. What do you mean by that?
People pay me to help them find a partner. And these are individual, many of them are quote unquote too busy, or, they're relying on my network and ability to network to find them a match. However, I do teach people how to be their own matchmaker. And I truly believe that every single person has the capacity and ability to be their own matchmaker. It's just a matter of, the time and investment and willingness. When you've been single for a long time, or you don't have the skill set, as you know, Trip, you work with lots of single men as well. It's not like they're not capable. They maybe just require the skills to be able to be better at it, and get them to the goal faster. Similarly, if I share with men and women, where I meet, how I meet, what do I do for recruitment? Who do I have to become to attract these kinds of people? Obviously, I'm a matchmaker, so it's easy for people to come to me because I'm always a matchmaker. I'm never not connecting someone. But if I were single and I wanted to be known and I wanted help and support and to attract the kind of person to me, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be that single person that's out there that's telling everybody, I want to be matched. You have to introduce me to your friends. I need to go to that party, or whatever it takes for you to attract that kind of person. That's the skill set that I'm talking about. Whether it's going to events, whether it's improving your social media profile, whether it's getting on a singles podcast, like raise your hand and tell the world I'm single and I'm ready for love. You can totally manifest a partner that way, but it absolutely requires your focus and intention to do that.
That's cool. Actually, this is really interesting. Let's dive into this. I want to talk about this a little bit more. I like this idea of guys who can become their own matchmaker. Of course, they can always hire you for you to do the work for them in a sense, right? Because you have a big catalog of people that you can introduce people
I
to.
have my roster. I have my
Right, that's the
roster of
roster.
ladies. And how did I develop that? Well, first of all, I had to make it known, hey, I welcome you to come to my website, come to my network, join the singles club, right? And so everywhere I go, I make it known that I'm the connector. I want to connect with those people. So if you were to translate that skill as a single person, making it known that you're the single eligible guy in the room that wants to be connected, like me first, I'm first in line. If you're at the wedding, you go to the bride and groom and say, put me at the singles table. If you're at the bar and you're talking to the bartender and say, you tell me which ones, here are single. I'm over there in that corner. I'll buy them a drink. Like, do whatever you have to do to make it known that you are single, not in a desperate way, just in a very intentional way.
Okay, I like this. So we're saying the idea here, the big concept is you are making it known that you're single.
Correct.
And you're doing it in all these different creative ways. So it gives you the opportunity to be introduced or to meet other women who are single.
Totally. I'll give you a real life example. I had a lady recently reach out to me and say, can I join your network? She thought she had to pay to be in my network. I'm like, absolutely, you can join my network because I'm recently single. So I go into her Instagram account and I just, do a bit of a scope, see what's going on. I could totally tell she just broke up with someone. Why? Because everything she's posting about is on breakup, finding love, what guys are like. Like the entire theme is about a person who is out there ready to be like, obviously it's a single person's posting, right? And if you're a guy wanting to be out there, then you're going to, even in your social media profile, intentionally and maybe subliminally put it out there that you're a king looking for that queen. You know what it's like to have a partner. Hey, you don't want to be single. You are ready to commit, whatever that looks like. You have to not be afraid to post that you are single and eligible, to the point where I can go to an Instagram profile, and if it says there, do me a favor. I'm a matchmaker. Just put on your actual account, single and looking. Toronto's most eligible guy, or Chicago's most eligible single. Match me with your single friends. I'll give you a bonus if you find my wife. Like whatever that looks like. So someone lands on there, they don't have to guess. Like a lot of times when I'm recruiting, I look at social media profiles and I'm looking for the girlfriend. I'm looking for the ex-girlfriend. I'm looking at the feed to say, is this someone I can approach? I literally did that earlier today with a gentleman, scoped his Instagram profile, connected with him on LinkedIn, then asked him, totally out of the blue, are you single? Because I'm a matchmaker and I want to connect with somebody who looks like you for a potential match. He's like, I am. But his profile did the work for me because there were no women in his post. He's talking about relationships. So that was an easy one. Made my job super easy.
So how would a guy, if he's not working with a matchmaker, how does he do this on his own?
Again, it's a matter of first of all, do you know who you are and how you want to show up to the person that you're looking to attract, right? A lot of that has to do with acknowledging, who they are, what do they want people to know about them? In particular, what do they want the person they're looking for to know about them? Do they want to know about what their hobbies and interests are? What they like to eat every day, if they exercise, whatever those things are that kind of showcase or tell a story about your life. That's one thing. The other thing that you can do, again, if depending on how brave you are and how intentional you are, you can actually put on your bio that you're single and looking. Like literally, Facebook has status. So if you put on Facebook your relationship status is single, well, clue number one, that's one thing. I don't have to guess that. But you can also do that on Instagram, right? Like not attached, single and available. You can actually put that in your bio.
Wow, that's interesting.
Well, why not?
There's all these little hidden ways of doing this.
Totally. It's not even hidden. I mean, you tell your friends, you tell your family, you tell your banker, or you tell everybody in your immediate circle. I recently joined a PR group, and one of the exercises that they had in order to get press was they suggested to write your top 20 list of the most influential people or people that could help you get on media or press. And I'm like, what if we as a single person made a top 20 list of the people that we want to help us introduce us to somebody new? Like, and it could be married people, right? Like, think about the relationships and the couples that you think you like their relationship, you like their partnership. Well, guess what? They have cousins, sisters, brothers, family members, other people in their circle that you can go to them and ask them for these referrals. Hey, and not just I'm single and I want a single girl. Like, be detailed. Like, literally give them the list. This is who I am. Maybe you don't know this about me, but this is who I am, and this is the kind of person I'm looking for. Like, not like a real bio. That's what I do as a matchmaker. As a matchmaker, I get to know the ins and outs of that person, their lifestyle, attitude, values, goals, how old they are, what they're into, what they don't like. The list is large, right? And that's the time that I invest in getting to know them. But usually when you're meeting a friend or saying, "Hey, I'm single, introduce me to your friends," that's about the basis of the conversation. You don't really get into, well, she has to look like this, and I'm interested in having family. Plus, I'm a vegan, I'm allergic to cats, whatever that looks like, right? So you can be your own matchmaker.
So it's about knowing what you're looking for and then finding the opportunities to be found and find. That's what I'm kind of gathering here.
Yep. Being found.
Right?
Yeah, discovery. It's you being discovered and you making yourself visible. If you're the guy at the dance,
Indiscoverable.
yeah, be discoverable for sure. Be discoverable, be noticeable, be interesting, be intentional. Half the time, if you're out and about and you're not prepared to run into that girl, you got a stain on your shirt. You didn't like you're worried about what your breath smells like. I'm like, pretend like you have to manifest like you might be on a date. You might run into that cute girl in the line. You just want to be ready. You always want to be ready. You want your eyes to be visible to other people and not stuck on your phone. Like, you're looking for those opportunities. That's what I do. When I enter a room, when I enter an event, it's like I'm a hawk. I'm literally, okay, who's single? Who's not wearing a ring? Who can I talk to? Who's the most engaging, person in this room? I want to connect with that person. I want to connect with a super connector. I consider myself a super connector. So if you want to attract your match, you better be and learn how to become a super connector.
Or meet the super connectors?
Meet the super connector. Absolutely. 100%.
Cool. Yeah. No, so I'm curious, what are some other little tips you have in terms of being more discoverable? I like what you said so far. You said, letting your network and people know that you're single when you're at a party, when you said tell the bartender
Right.
on your
I kind
Instagram.
of
What are
look,
some other little ones like that?
well, work backwards, right? Work backwards too. When I think about strategy, let's say I hired somebody recently. I have a new client. She hired me. She's in a certain profession. And when I ask her is, what do you think your future partner is doing? What are the events that he's attending? What are the books that he's reading? Who are his friends? What does he do on a day-to-day basis? So let's say that you are somebody that is into art, or maybe you're super active or physically fit. Well, how are you going to meet somebody that shares that lifestyle? It's about joining and putting yourself in new circles. You already have the existing circles. So what are you doing to get outside of your normal circle? Now, it may not be a physical activity because we're limited to a degree. We're still in the pandemic, but there are Zoom meetings and Zoom calls going on all the time. I signed up to a real estate Zoom thing. I signed up to like several happy hours. I signed up to some meditation class, a yoga thing, like just participate in as many new activities that you can share with that person, or where you might organically meet somebody that shares that common interest. And I'm saying things to me that are like common sense, but thinking that, maybe some of the listeners don't even know that this is available to them, right? Like, if you go to meetup.com or Eventbrite now has loads of virtual events that you can attend, and may not even be in your city. You can attend a virtual event anywhere in the world, really. Not that you want to date too far outside, but nowadays, virtual dates are becoming the new normal, right? So really getting yourself out there. And if you're not on a dating site, or maybe you've been on the same site, change it up. Like mix it up a little bit. Try Hinge, try Bumble. I have a matchmaking app in LA called Sensio. Do some research. There's dating sites or review sites. Bestdatingsites.com is one of them that I've done some work with. They have over 665 online dating sites. I think that they promote or recommend. Like who
There's
knew you could have
655 dating sites?
It's bestdatingsites.com. Like any review site that shows you how many dating sites that are actually out there, there literally are
Crazy how many
thousands.
there are. That's crazy.
Like thousands. Okay, there's vegan meat, there's mindfulness, there's clown dating, there's like I don't know, there's dating site for every niche that you can think of, from cultural to religious to activity based to Dig, the dog person's dating app. I love those girls. This is for dog lovers. You can meet other people, other dog lovers. They have dog groups and dog meetups. I mean, you can find anything. Google should be your best friend. Just type in singles events, type in, virtual events, do interest-based things. I think those are some ways that you can also expand your circle, do something different. Don't do the same thing that you've always been doing. That's insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. How are you going to meet new people if you're not doing new things? Change it up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on clowndating.com. This is hilarious.
It's true, right?
I'm literally on
Literally.
clowndating.com. Everybody loves a clown.
Yep.
Let a clown love you.
Yep. There is a site for everything. Trust me on that.
Crazy.
Did you not know that? Did you not know there was a clown? There's firefighters dating, there's fit dating, there's millionaire match, there's, sugar daddy, sugar baby, everything. Like every niche. There's even dating sites for couples and people who want polyamory.
You never want the story of how you and your spouse met to involve the mutual love and appreciation of adults who wear diapers. Unbelievable.
What site are you on?
I'm on, I just typed in weird dating sites, mullet passions. Ugly schmuck.
Mullet passions. Oh gosh.
If you've given up on finding someone attractive and you're fine with someone with self-esteem as low as yours, ugly schmucks may be your best bet. I wouldn't recommend signing up a friend or family member up for an account. This is crazy.
Uglyschmucks.com. Okay, well, I don't know that I'd go on that one, but hey, if you're an ugly schmuck, you got a site for you.
But I mean, listen, it's,
right?
You make a point here. Amish dating, vampire passions, farmers only. I've heard of that one. This is crazy. Wait, listen to this one. Miss Travel, the ideal site for attractive young girls who want to travel but don't have the funds.
So by the way,
a way for women to volunteer to be in their own version of Taken.
So Miss Travel is run by Brandon Wade, and Brandon Wade also owns seekingarrangements.com and What's Your Price. So Miss Travel is a sister company of Seeking Arrangements and What's Your Price, which, by the way, What's Your Price allows a woman to set the price for a guy for her time. So I tried the app. I put my price at $250 and said that if they go out with me for 1 hour date, I'll give them coaching for an hour just to try it. And I actually got dates and I coached people for an hour in that time just as a test.
No way.
100%.
So you're paying for a date.
Yeah, you're paying for a guaranteed date, but she has to accept your offer. So let's say her offer is 150 and you counter and say, I'll pay 100. And if she wants to go out with you, she'll take your offer, or she could counter and say, for you, it's 500. And if you're willing to pay, then you can go on the date.
Oh my gosh. There's just something for everything. I would not recommend this to the guys out there. Let's not pay for dates.
Yeah.
But again, there are lots of websites out there. Maybe none of these weird ones.
Sure.
Unless you're really into vampire passions.
Right. But the point is that, there's more than Tinder out there, guys. Whether you do Bumble or Tinder or Hinge or or Coffee Meets Bagel or Match or OkCupid or Sensio or whatever. I mean, don't get stuck on one site and have it mean that, all your eggs are in that basket. As a matchmaker, I always encourage a diversified portfolio, and that includes what you create for yourself, what you can rely on if you have a professional helping you, whether it's a matchmaker or coach or friends. It's what you manifest, it's events you attend, it's dating sites that you go on. It's all those things. It's never a rely on one source. If you want to be your own matchmaker, you've really got to be creative and active every day. I'm never not a matchmaker. And Trip, you're never not Trip giving advice. You're always doing that at some point, right? So I think if a guy is single and they're intentional and they want to meet somebody, it's like a full-time job.
Yeah, it can happen if you're putting the energy and effort and time into it.
100%.
Yeah, no, that's great. Do you have any tips for, I have my own little system I teach guys in terms of finding their three non-negotiables, three things that they're looking for in a woman. I wonder if you have anything in terms of teaching people how to find someone that is a good match for them.
Ooh, great question. I mean, it's never about three things, but I think the fact that a
Yeah,
person
well, what's
is,
yours? What's your system for helping people with that?
well, number one, anybody who's working with a matchmaker has to complete an actual matchmaking application or form because it's very comprehensive. We look at all things, your lifestyle, attitude, values, goals, physicality. Like we look at the entire picture. Also, being aligned with what your actual dating and relationship goals are. Not everybody who's dating has the same outcome or result of, whether it's marriage, kids, bi-coastal relationship, like what is what is actual success for them? Like what kind of relationship are they looking for? So always having a plan or idea or knowing who you're looking for obviously helps. If you're out there swiping blindly, not really knowing what you're looking for, that's only going to get you, a mixed bag. So everything is done with intention. In the same breath, Trip, it's about also acknowledging who they are, right? Do they know what they want? Have they done their own work? Are they carrying baggage from the past? Do they have a belief about their own, what's their belief about relationships? Do they have anything that's in their way or that's stuck, that's preventing them from finding someone? So it really isn't a, easy fix, but I would say if it came down to three things is to A, know who they are and what they offer, B, know who they're looking for and the qualities and everything else, and C, are their dating and relationship goals aligned? A lot of times people will invest in a partnership without even asking basic questions. I think when you're on a dating site or dating app and you want to get to from text to phone to in person, like what's the qualification for you to invest time to meet someone in person? Do you need to know what kind of job, she has? Do you need to know what kind of friends she hangs out with? Do you need to know if she does drugs or not? Like what are the things that are important to you that matter so that you're not wasting time? A lot of guys are enamored, like people lead with lust, and they forget that, there's a process here. I forgot to ask this important question about, kids or religion or sex or whatever it is that's important to you. So I really do believe that there's a strategy around dating to save time and energy and frustration in the end.
I like that. That's great. I mean, that's the whole point, right? You want to
Sure.
find someone that's going to be a good match so you don't have to have those potential problems down the line.
100%. I mean, I was speaking to a gentleman. He's 29. He does really well. He's an entrepreneur. I asked him, I said, do you want to meet somebody? Are you open to a woman who has kids? Or do you want to have kids? And his response was, I'd love to have my own family. And, I prefer not to date somebody who has kids. But if she's got everything and super exceptional, like, I'm open to dating somebody who already has a child, but there's so many other things that go along with that. What's the relationship like? What is the agreement? How much freedom does she have? But I needed to ask that question so that I know, who do I focus on? Who like what am I looking for him? Those are the same types of questions I would ask somebody if I were going to be their matchmaker. I'd want to know, what are they looking for, and what's important to them, as well as what do they bring to the table, right? Like, if I don't know what they're offering, how do I present them to somebody? Hey, he'd love to meet you, but I don't know anything about him. So it works both ways.
Yeah, I like that. Exactly. So, Carmelia, if people want to get in your database, work with you as a matchmaker, where can they find you?
I'm super easy to find. You can find me on my website, which is carmeliaray.com. And on socials, it's at Carmelia Ray for almost everything. So Google me. But carmeliaray.com is how you would reach me. I am offering free 15-minute Zoom calls for anyone, dating discovery, as I call it, to see if we're a good fit to work together, and or just chatting about whatever issue you want to talk about in the moment.
Awesome. Cool. I'll put that in the show notes so guys can check it out. Carmelia, thank you so much for sharing some of your secrets with us. And it was great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Trip. Glad to be here.